I just had this great conversation with my friend Reid, and I also had an informal conversation with my sister Liz, and we were talking about what it is that a true client is looking for in your salon. These women that I just had conversation with are talking about their experience in salons and what they have accomplished in their lives, which is really a hell of a lot. But it's interesting to look at their life cycle and how they came into salons, because they are relatively reluctant clients. When they first started out, when they were young, they weren't that interested in going to salons. They actually did their own hair at home, even cut it themselves sometimes. But as their life cycle went on and they became more successful and they had more money, what they started to do was they started to go into salons, even to the point where they were coming in weekly. And I think that being affluent women that own businesses, women that are really the true perfect customer for high-end salons and for high-end hairdressers, that these really are that. And so it goes into the question about the real big focus on trend and trendy styles and avant-garde looks that a lot of beginning hairdressers want to focus in on right away. And my advice to everybody who's a new hairdresser out there, and believe me, I love trend, I love what's going on Instagram, I love all of that kind of work, avant-garde work, but it really is not your bread and butter. What you want to do is you want to focus in on these types of women. And that's why my podcast that is attached to this video is down in the comments is really a good one to listen to, because you learn about the life cycle of a reluctant client who actually can then become somebody who regularly needs to come in. And so although I love everything that's going on Instagram, my advice to everyone who's out there, especially if you're a beginner, is to focus in on doing things like creating a beautiful brunette, learning how to cut an awesome bob, and really just simply focus in on classic hairdressing at first. Get your bread and butter down, make sure that you can pay your bills, that you can eat, and then move on to the very limited amount of time that you will spend doing something avant-garde. There is that where people do make careers just doing avant-garde, but it's actually a lot less for the majority of hairdressers that are out there. And so make sure that you can first feed yourself, and then you can move on from there. Thanks.